We started wondering, what's up with this? Like, why? And we started to realize, aha.
One theme, just as a complete outsider paying half attention to Daily Mail headlines, that runs through her life is she's blowing up families. I mean, she seems like she's really caused a lot of problems in her husband's family. Clearly, she's gone after your family.
Samantha Markle officially spoke out with a statement no one anticipated. Suddenly, the pregnancy story, which had been considered closed, began to show inconsistencies. Details that had previously been overlooked now appeared right before our eyes. The important thing is, this isn't simply talk stemming from family conflict or personal feelings. According to what's been shared, Samantha says she has direct information from their father, Thomas Markle. The information regarding frozen eggs, allegedly arranged about 9 months before Archie's birth, raises a big question about medical timelines and why the issue of royal succession is so intertwined with so many closely guarded details. When these pieces are put together, the familiar fairy tale picture begins to crack. And once you hear all the details, you'll understand why more and more people following this story are asking the same question. Did Meghan Markle really give birth to Archie and Lilibet? Or is there a bigger secret that has been hidden throughout modern royal history? To answer that, we need to go back in time.
Now we are looking at the two different theories and whether or not they're truly viable. Is it viable and possible that she would have this postpartum swelling or weight gain without carrying the babies herself through using a surrogate?
And if so, do you remember Harry's memoir? That book should have been very truthful, very direct, a rare glimpse behind the palace curtain. But many crucial details seem to have been obscured, buried amidst emotions and family tensions. There's one small detail that subtly overturns everything. According to the official story, Meghan is said to have given birth at Portland Hospital, and only about 2 hours later, they were back at Frogmore Cottage. 2 hours. It sounds quick, even impressive. But to anyone who has experienced childbirth, or been with someone who has just given birth, that time frame sounds utterly unbelievable. Not only to the average person, but even to medical professionals and hospital staff familiar with the postpartum process. This timeline is not only puzzling, it's also considered almost impossible. Let's try a simple analysis. From Portland Hospital to Frogmore Cottage, it takes about an hour's drive under ideal conditions. So, if they were home within 2 hours of giving birth, that means that in that extremely short period of time, the birth was complete, the mother was eligible for discharge, the doctors completed the required follow-up, the nurses performed a thorough checkup on the baby, all the paperwork was processed, security measures were confirmed, and then there was a long drive home. All of that is supposed to happen in total under 120 minutes. According to standard medical practice, this does not reflect the reality of childbirth, is inconsistent with safe procedures, especially for a first-time mother. Those closely following this timeline began to notice something even more remarkable: the speed of the whole event. This led many to consider two possibilities. Either the birth did not take place at Portland Hospital as stated, or part of the official narrative does not match what actually happened. The questions deepened when Archie's birth did not follow the royal rituals that had existed for centuries. Previously, with every royal birth, there was always a clear pattern. The Queen was informed as soon as labor began. This was not a formal tradition, but a mandatory procedure for anyone in the line of succession. So what was different this time? And why was the handling unlike any previous royal case?
The children and her child would be what we call a half-African. I've never heard of that one before. And would look nothing like any of those children. I know hundreds, and skin tone and hair will tell the true story. She used a surrogate. Did a deep dive, and she couldn't bear children.
According to custom, the press is always informed through official channels, according to very specific timelines. Medical teams are present to monitor and record the entire process. Witnesses are clearly identified. The paperwork is carefully organized, according to royal standards that have existed for generations. However, according to sources close to the matter, in May 2019, something unprecedented happened. According to what has been shared, the Queen was reportedly not informed immediately when labor began. The press received inconsistent information about the time and location. There was no clear official announcement, no fully verified witness list in accordance with proper procedures. Furthermore, the birth certificate was allegedly altered 11 days after Archie was born, when Meghan's name was updated to her royal title, the Duchess of Sussex. When compared to other recent royal births, the differences become even more apparent.
Because the Portland Hospital doesn't have an emergency department. So, if you are a high-risk birth, or something happens during that labour to either you or your baby, there's no crash team, there's nothing. They will call an ambulance and you'll be sent to the nearest NHS hospital. So when Meghan was talking about, the emergency department, that's why we couldn't do the photograph in front of the hospital.
Many began to question it. In contrast, when Princess Kate gave birth to her children, everything went according to procedure. Cameras outside the hospital, clear announcement timing, ample witnesses, paperwork completed day by day. This isn't a story about privacy or personal choice. The issue lies in the specific protocols that exist to ensure transparency regarding the children in the line of succession, procedures designed to never be questioned. So, when timelines become difficult to explain, when there are reports that the Queen wasn't properly informed, when paperwork has to be amended after the event has occurred, many can't help but wonder, why is that? The answer to that question isn't just about family or private life, but also touches on a larger issue, the legitimacy of the royal succession. And while those questions haven't subsided, Samantha Markle's recent statements have further fueled debate. Because once she started publicly mentioning things that their father, Thomas Markle, allegedly knew, things immediately became more complicated. Samantha didn't just make vague insinuations. According to reports, she provided specific details, allegedly coming directly from Thomas Markle. According to Samantha's account to journalist Dan Wooten, Thomas claimed that about 9 months before Archie was born, Meghan arranged for egg freezing. It is noteworthy that this timeline is not many years in advance as part of a long-term plan, but is said to coincide precisely with the time often associated with the use of eggs in surrogacy cases, instead of a natural pregnancy.
And Archie and Lilibet, they haven't had any verification of who gave birth to those children, which is actually quite mandatory. We've heard Harry, the incredible story of Wonder Woman Meghan Markle walking out of a room 1 hour after giving delivery to Archie.
According to Samantha Markle, quoted in reports, their father said that about 9 months before Archie was supposedly born, Meghan arranged for egg freezing. If this information is true, it suggests the possibility of another plan beyond natural conception. Samantha also argues that if surrogacy was indeed used, it should have been publicly acknowledged, instead of remaining silent and creating suspicion. According to the rules of royal succession, the heir must be born directly from a member of the royal family, not through another person's pregnancy. And this is where the mystery begins to become clearer. If surrogacy is confirmed, Archie and Lilibet could lose their place in the line of succession and their associated royal titles. They could have easily refuted all suspicions with a clear denial, but not doing so only allowed the questions to continue to spread. When Samantha's information surfaced, debates quickly erupted online, and more family members spoke out. From there, the story no longer stopped at one individual, but became a major unanswered question. Thomas Markle Jr., Meghan's half-brother, also publicly questioned the pregnancy story. According to reports, he even posted a satirical YouTube video, using props and sarcastic remarks to express his skepticism. This wasn't a subtle family criticism, but a controversial public act that drew significant attention. Royal commentator Jenny Bond stated that this was a serious attack on personal credibility. However, what concerns many more is, why did these accusations come from family members rather than strangers or online theories? According to sources, Thomas Markle Sr. is said to have known about the frozen eggs. Samantha linked this information to the pregnancy timeline, and Thomas Jr. suspected it was related to the use of a fake belly. When multiple members of the same family publicly questioned the situation, despite public pressure, observers began to wonder, what information did they possess that made them so certain? Furthermore, royal and medical experts began reviewing Harry's descriptions. Some medical details were deemed inconsistent with standard procedures. Attention then shifted to the birthing location. For months, the media had reported that Meghan planned to give birth at Frogmore Cottage for a private experience. However, this plan suddenly changed, with Archie reportedly born at Portland Hospital, not far from Frogmore, and the family returning home just 2 hours later. According to a quoted palace source, this sequence was puzzling, as it is rare for a family to plan a home birth, then go to the hospital, and then leave so quickly. This further raises suspicions that something was amiss with a normal childbirth. Then, attention shifted to Portland Hospital itself. This facility is known for its high level of privacy, security, and strict adherence to medical protocols, especially for celebrity patients. Traditionally, mothers cannot leave the hospital after just 2 hours. Newborns require monitoring time, paperwork needs processing, and postnatal checkups cannot be shortened simply for the sake of privacy. If the birth did indeed take place in Portland and the departure was so short, it would mean many mandatory procedures were skipped. However, this detail is rarely mentioned. Furthermore, there is no public confirmation of witnesses, medical staff, or security personnel who observed the arrival and departure that day. Even information about the attending physician has been inconsistent. For a royal event, this lack of clarity raises many questions. Despite official announcements confirming both mother and baby are healthy, the doubts persist. As images and videos from the pregnancy were analyzed more closely, some argued that changes in the shape of her belly didn't follow a normal pattern. Some images showed different sizes and positions on the same day, and even controversial moments appeared in the videos. These images quickly spread online, sparking much speculation. In response, Meghan shared an old video, allegedly filmed in a hospital setting, to confirm her pregnancy. However, instead of ending the debate, this video only raised more questions, making the story even more difficult to resolve. Instead of ending the controversy, the images released only fueled further speculation. Some observers argued that the belly appeared too high, an inconsistent shape for the late stages of pregnancy. Others suggested the details beneath the clothing resembled ordinary medical monitoring equipment, while still others believed it was a sign of supportive props. This divergence in perspective has prolonged the debate. The video was shared with the intention of clarifying the truth, but ultimately raised even more questions. The visual evidence remains controversial, and the legal and inheritance implications are difficult to ignore. For the British royal family, the issue of succession revolves around legitimacy, lineage, and clear records. That's why protocols exist in the first place, to prevent such questions from arising. As questions continue to surround Archie and Lilibet, some voices within royal observers have called for transparency. They argue that the issue isn't about personal feelings or biases, but about the prolonged ambiguity. According to sources, the palace reportedly acknowledges that excessive secrecy has created a problem that needs addressing. If the birth doesn't go as announced, then, according to long-standing law, the consequences for the title and succession would be very serious. Therefore, the level of risk is very high. Ultimately, all the details of the story seem to converge on one point: the fine line between privacy and the demand for transparency. What is presented as an effort to protect the children from public pressure, when placed within the overall picture, continues to raise unanswered questions. If you've followed this far, the biggest question remains: is this just a misunderstanding, or a story that has never been told completely? When timelines don't match, when crucial details remain unclear, and when the silence lasts longer than any explanation, the public has the right to ask questions. What do you think? What do you think it is really being hidden? Is this protection of privacy or a gap that needs to be filled? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Every perspective is important in piecing together this picture. If you want to continue following more in-depth analysis, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next developments. The truth may be delayed, but the questions will never disappear.